trains are running, coming round the bend. Well, that long train is running. I see it coming round the bend. Get on board. Oh. Well, that long train's running. Get on board. Coming round the bend. Well, that long train's running. Coming round the bend. Get on board the blues train. Get on board the blues train. Well, that long train's running, coming round the bend, down home blue. Well, that long train's running, coming round the bend. Get on the blues train. Kansas City, get on board. Get on board. Mississippi Blues, the blues train. Down home blues, the blues train. Ain't got nothing but the blues. Coming round the bend. Yeah, that long train's running, coming round the bend. I got the blues. Get on board. I got the blues. Get on board the blues train. Oh yeah, the blues train. Down home blues. Well, that long train's running, coming around the bend. Somebody need to tell. Can you tell me how blue can you get? The blues train. Ever since I met you, baby, the blues train. I've been singing the blues, coming round the bend, y'all. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get on board the blues train. Get on board the blues.
Oh, okay.
Blues train. Coming round the bend now. Blues train.
All right. How well can you hear me?
The blues
Pretty well. Let me check your levels on clean feed.
Yeah.
Well, you
Please
sound...
do that.
Yeah, you could turn your gain up a little bit, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think you got some headroom to turn your gain up, just a touch. Alright, as far as I know...
Alright.
We should be here.
Should be here.
We should be
Should
here.
be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm assuming that we're here. I'm not 100% sure, but we should be here. And I'm gonna close up the booth, I think, because I'm not hot enough already. Apparently, there's really no good reason to do this. I should just leave it open, shouldn't I? Yeah, but that's not fun. Let's do that. Oh, temporary measures. I hate them. Go on. Yeah, there we go. One side.
There we go.
I reckon the music's gonna stop about halfway through the stream. It normally does.
I'm wondering... Hold on, I'm just gonna make sure my computer doesn't turn off on me during the stream.
Why? You running out of like battery power or something, or?
No, it's unplugged. I just want to make sure the power plant's...
I want to like angle this slightly. There we go. We got an angle. What is with this other pop filter? I know. Let's put it back in place. I kind of liked it. Audio tests, dude. Oh yeah. Now I realize I need to actually record through clean feed, so I need to open the booth back up again. Oh man. I will get this right eventually. I swear. Look. Damn hairs.
Hairs? Well, seems like someone needs a quarantine haircut.
You know what? Screw you. There will be no haircuts for me. Right. Clean feed.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Alright. I believe that is us. You know what's the slight problem with this though? Oh.
What?
I don't think I can see the chat.
Oh, no.
That's a definite no. I don't think I can see the chat. Yeah. Chat's just gonna have to deal with the fact that I can't read them. Can't even come close to reading the chat. Oh, this is a pain. Maybe I should keep the booth open. What do you think?
Maybe you should.
Open or close?
Yeah. I mean open, because you're not gonna be, well, yelling, are you? Not much reverb?
There's not gonna be any reverb when it's open like this anyway, dude. Because it's just, you know... Ha! Okay, it's a little bit, but whatever. We're not bothered. Alright, let's, I guess I'll open up, Streamlabs and we'll have a look and see if I can look at chat occasionally. That might be useful. I don't know if anyone's gonna chat in there, but whatever.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, my buddy, Seth, how you doing, mate? Oh, it was a pleasure getting drunk texted by you last night, dude. I just saw your message. Yeah, that was really amusing. Thanks for the drunk text. I really appreciated it. At like 2 a.m. in the morning, you were hammered, my friend. I respect that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do. Right, I can now see chat, but not read it. So, if you chat, I guess I'll have to go and look and see. See what I can see.
Just look over every 5 minutes.
Yeah, this podcast is gonna take a lot of editing. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
especially,
Yeah, he's messaging me on Facebook right now. He's like, read my message. Read it. Go on. Go read that thing. I'm like, okay, jeez.
your friend from uni?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I suppose we had Is there a reason why this track is so loud? I'm gonna have to turn it down. There we go. Wow, that was a loud track. But anyway, it's gone now, so you can hear both of us. Audio is good.
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, there's another chat message. Let me read this.
Wait, people are actually typing in chat?
Oh yeah, no, my friend is. He says my webcam isn't working apparently. It might not be. That would be typical. I guess yeah, it doesn't look like it is. That means I've been saved. No face reveal thus far. This is exciting. All right, let me stop and start again.
No. Wow. You're gonna push your luck? You just don't want Providence to keep you from face revealing? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, that is what I'm telling you. All right. You know, and it's like every time you get something new going up with the stream, there's always just thousands and thousands of really aggravating technical difficulties. But we're almost there. You should have seen the state the stream was in like 30 minutes ago. Oh my.
Oh yeah.
Oh, whoops. Here I am trying to start the thing again. I need to actually, Bob. Okay. Let's go. LAN. Stream. Okay, that's live. Let's check this thing. Alright, looks like it's gone to a slightly different location. Let me double check this. Okay, it's now 2. That's fine.
2?
Yeah, 2 secs. Oh, I think we're good. Hey, there we go. We've done it. We made it onto the camera. At long last. There it is.
Oh no.
Hey. God, that took only way too long to sort out. What can you do? So I guess that means we're actually ready to start the podcast. These things never go to plan, do they? Well. Oh, you're gonna go check it out yourself?
Yeah.
All right. No. You check it out. You let me know if everything and everyone can actually be heard.
Did you use another link? Because it seems like the latest one just doesn't work.
Yeah, just head to the channel page and you should see it. You should see the stream.
Live now.
Yeah. There's probably gonna be a delay.
Hey, shades, bro.
Oh yeah, that's what didn't I tell you I was cracking out the shades today?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if you actually were going to.
No, I'm actually cracking. Well, the light is like, I'm so tall that the light, the shade around it, it's just the bob is just higher than the shade, even when I put it as high as I can. So there's an actual reason for it, and that is I am literally blinded when I take these things off by that light. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's a pain, but what can you do?
Well, I will likely not face reveal because I just don't feel like having my laptop in here.
You think I could put you on the stream? Do you have any idea how long to put me on the stream? Nevertheless, no. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. This is the part where you tell me I look hideous. All right, thanks, Charles.
No, dude. Like, you have no idea how much effort it would be to get another camera from a different location on the stream, and the delay would be.
Oh, so you weren't roasting me. All right, that's interesting.
No. So what's going on is, this is not the laptop camera you're seeing me on. This is another device, and it's streaming to my laptop that is streaming everything else. And technically, the laptop's not even doing the streaming. Technically, the GPU's doing the streaming. But to get you on here, you would have to do the same thing that my tablet is currently doing, except also port forward. So then I can grab the video, and I don't think the delay would be too insane. So the idea is that with Streamlabs you can actually put a delay on things, so you have the audio and the video sync up. I haven't done this for this episode because I'm gonna be behind the pop shield most of the time, and I just don't care. And the delay's not too horrendous from audio to this thing anyway. Oh, is that another message from Seb? Let's go and have a look. Let's see what he's saying. He's spamming my chat today. I don't know what he wants. Did you say I'm not tall? Just a small cupboard? Dude, like, you have no idea. I have to, like, this is a temporary measure because the actual cupboard itself is like maybe 8 feet tall. And I ran out of foam, so I haven't been able to pad the whole thing. So I think the rest of the foam's going on Friday, so we're gonna pad the whole booth. And then you're gonna see the whole thing padded. It goes up to the top, and you're like, oh wait, no, MrCharles is actually quite tall. Whoa, amazing.
Spend another 60 quid on foam?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I had to, because this thing, like, essentially it's super long that way and also wide. So this is like, this entire booth itself is coming up to my arm span, just longer. So it's not a small lengthways, but this blanket is huge. It's actually coming down about half my height as well over the sides of the door here. So essentially it's like blocking off air, and the blanket collects heat, the foam does not. So the only thing that's currently insulating the place is this blanket, and believe me, it is enough. It is hot in here. As it will be in your cupboard very soon, which is why we should get on with it. I feel so sorry for you.
Well,
it's gonna be hot.
A cupboard. I'm in a closet, but okay, whatever.
Yeah. So you're. Let's start, and I can ask you all about your booth. Okay. I guess I have to move. Yeah, we're talking about your booth, dude. You have a booth now.
In quotation marks, yeah.
It's just me as subscribed. Wow. Thanks. I have no idea who you are, but thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Stream notifications in the middle of the podcast. That's gonna be super awkward, isn't it, for people watching the podcast? I didn't think that one through.
Is it gonna be in the same? Is it gonna be in the same track as your voice?
No, it's not. It's gonna be a multi-track app. You're right. I'll have to go edit them out. Oh, but the music's in the background. Oh, you know what? That's gonna be so much effort. I don't care. I straight up don't care.
Okay.
I'm sure I could get it to filter through channels, but it would have taken me like another half an hour to do the different audio routing before we actually get this thing set up right. You know how it is. Anyway, onward ho. Welcome to the Unsolicited Voiceover Podcast, Episode 6. Hello there. Do you want to introduce yourself? Or do you think they've heard enough of you introducing yourself now?
Well, I mean, my voice is apparently the most hated on the internet, so I think they're sick of it by now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they are. Oh yeah, they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know, it's all right.
You know, it's odd. Almost for the podcast, I want to get my other pair of cans on. Oh, I just love him. Ever since I heard him say cans, I'm in love with the word cans. Cans is such a good word. Come on. You love it too. Cans.
Okay.
Cans. I want to get my other pair of cans on. But you know what the problem is my laptop's so far away. Cable wouldn't reach, so I'm stuck with these very harsh sounding ATs. But what can you do? I have to pick up a pair of Sennheisers at some point, but whatever. Today's episode is all about booths. Booths.
Hey, you know, I'm curious. When did you decide to make the topic about booths? Was that just yesterday after I moved into my closet? And you're like, oh, good job. You finally moved into your closet.
Well, yeah, because essentially you moved into your booth, and I sorted out mine so I can stand in here now. I mean, it's not totally 100% sorted as of yet, but by the end of the week, it will be 100% sorted, which is... So, yeah, this episode is about booths. It's all about, I don't know, how easy it is to make a booth at home, because it's not hard. You don't have to do this to have a booth at home. You don't have to put a lamp in here. You don't have to have foam. You don't have to have... I put shelves in here because I wanted to have something to list my tablet on, and also put the Go XLR on stuff and whatever else. But you don't need like any of the stuff in here to have an acoustically treated booth. Like, look at this. I don't have enough foam. I'm using a blanket over the roof. You could use blankets instead of foam everywhere if you have the sheets. So it's a pretty good idea to do it, I would say.
Or you can just rely on the mountains of stuff in your booth to absorb all the sound.
Which is more so what you're doing, which is what I used to do. So when I was first recording stuff on the Procaster to eliminate reverb, echo, there was another cupboard, and I basically just put a duvet inside that cupboard, closed the door slightly too behind me, so it wasn't one you could actually get in it. It was like a half height and above kind of cupboard thing. So I would just stand there, close the door too behind me, and then have the duvet in there, have the microphone, do that stuff, and I could shout and yell, and nothing would escape that room. It was very similar. So you don't have to even have a closet that you can get into to have a good recording space. If it's just like, I don't know, some kind of doors thing you open up and you can just get your head and microphone in there and a pillow or something. It's better than recording it in your bedroom where the reverb is gonna be fun. We'll say fun. Fun's a good word.
Yeah, fun. Unless you have my bedroom, in which case it only gets fun when you yell.
Well, you could hear the room as you were speaking, unless you put your duvet over your head. You could hear the room.
Yeah, that's why when I recorded, I just put my duvet over my head.
Yeah, which you know, pretty much fixed the whole hearing the room thing, but it wasn't the greatest of solutions when you wanted to be loud.
No. Oh yeah, of course. I don't think I ever actually got to a full scream when I was putting my duvet over my head. I definitely elevated my volume, but full scream, no. But then I screamed at you yesterday, and you're like, "Oh, no reverb, cool."
Yeah, you did scream at me yesterday, and there was no reverb. Wow, you make it sound as if you like got really aggressive down the microphone. You're like, "I hate you." I don't know what you would have said, but that's what you're coming across as to me. You're like, I was screaming at you down the microphone. You're like, "Oh hey, never mind your angriness. You ain't got any reverb. That's pretty cool."
Yeah.
Good job.
Angry, who cares? You've got no reverb, and that's what matters, buddy.
Exactly. Now, for everybody who's listening on the podcast, we are now going to cut to a sponsor segment. For everyone who's in the live stream, we're not.
Okay.
And we're back. That was it. That was the whole thing.
That was very.
This thing is done in post. Yeah, wow. I can see my friends spamming that chat. Speaking of everyone who's in the podcast, who's listening, you know, later on in Spotify, Anchor, whatever else, Google Podcasts, it's like everywhere. It's literally everywhere. If you're listening to the podcast, This one was recorded live. It went live on YouTube on, what day is it today? Is it Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday 16th, 1 p.m. Eastern. I think pretty much every single podcast that I will do live will be done at 1 p.m. Eastern on some day. It might just happen to be every Tuesday. I don't know. Might become a regular Tuesday. Tuesdays go live. Other things don't. Yeah, that's the plan anyway. Right, I'm going to go read the chat quickly but before somebody gets annoyed at me for not reading the chat.
Someone.
There was nothing. That was tragic. I thought there was. I guess my eyes are playing tricks on me.
Oh. You dashed your hopes and dreams?
Yeah, they've been ruined. What will I do now? Anyway, back on topic. Booths. Tell us about what makes your booth good. Where are you right now? What is in the booth that is making you not have echo or reverb?
I'm in my closet, as I probably mentioned. I haven't even done anything to the walls themselves. I just have a lot of stuff, mostly clothing, in here.
Yeah.
And I suspect that's what's doing it.
Yeah. And that's an important thing to note is, foam is not the only thing that will absorb sound. Fabrics of pretty much any kind and just generally non-reflective, acoustically reflective, but also other kinds of reflective surfaces. If you don't have very many of them in a closed and fine space and there's fabric in there, it creates what we consider to be a very dead space. So not very good for singing in, but for voiceover it's ideal because, voiceover clips, all the reverb and the sound of whatever kind of characters walking through a cave is all done in post. It's not, they don't get someone to record their stuff in a cave, or they don't get them to record into a loud room. They do it in post. So all voiceover recordings happen dry, as they should do. You don't want to have a wet recording. That would be bad.
A wet recording.
A wet recording.
Huh.
Don't approve of that terminology, wet recordings? No?
I mean, I think it's just interesting. So yeah, I guess they wouldn't record in a cave or another literal echo chamber because the echoes aren't necessarily uniform or clean the way they'd like it.
Well, it's not necessarily that. So it's one of those things where you want to have, so you'd never, a recorded audio that is perfect and finished is always going to have some kind of audio editing done to it. And the problem is, if you record in a reverb heavy environment, you can't really treat the audio as in doing things like, EQ or whatever, because then you might end up with the reverb sounding distorted or the original sounding distorted, depending on what you focus your EQ on. And then the compression gets weird. And then, if there's kind of movement going on in a very reverb-heavy room, or an actor's like shaking around, you can end up with that in the background. It will definitely be so much more effort than just to add it in post, which is why reverb is like a no-no. Yeah. You don't have reverb, you don't have echoes in your recordings. Bad idea. Don't do it. Don't do it. People do it.
Harder to Yeah, it just makes the audio harder to process unless you're...
Significantly harder. And if you need audio to sound like it is dead, i.e. there is no reverb because, I don't know, you're doing something for commercial or radio, or you're, I don't know, a lot of anime scenes that are just talking tend to actually be completely dead even though they're in a room. Sometimes they add a little bit of the room sound, but that's more in kind of higher production budget kind of things. Most of the time, that's not even done. You can literally hear it, it's just dead. And if you introduce reverb to a situation where there shouldn't be anyway, it's gonna be messy. It's gonna be really messy. So we don't do that here. That's bad. We only support the most dry of audio on the Unsolicited Voiceover podcast, he says, with his booth open, probably introducing reverb, but it's not. I don't know, you have to turn your volume up pretty loud to hear it. So, all of the audio files are like, this person's got reverb. Oh yeah, But you can't hear it because there's a noise gate on. Yeah, that's right. Beat you at your own game.
Wow. Checkmate.
Checkmate.
Audiophiles.
Checkmate
Well
audiophiles. I don't have the slap button. That's a shame. I forgot to load it up.
Oh, that is a shame.
It is a shame.
Very bagic.
It is well and truly bagic. Now, I'd also wanted to do, as much as booths are very interesting, there's some of the most straightforward things. And the idea is, once you get the idea across your head, is that you don't want to have reverb in your booth. And you want to pick somewhere that doesn't have to be confined, per se. But you don't want to do it in a massive room. Because even really huge, even well-treated huge rooms, like the ones you get in like music recording studios, so they'll have the red walls and they'll be pretty spacious in there, and you'll see like instruments sometimes. Those kind of rooms will have a room sound. So they may not necessarily have echo or reverb, but there will be the sound of the room in there, because they're not designed to be acoustically dead. They're designed to be a little bit, they're just designed to have good acoustics. So when you're playing your instrument, you get a little bit of extra, quality across with the instrument. Something else is going on with it. And it does sound good for instrumentational purposes. But the smaller the room you have, the easier it is to make it acoustically dead. And if you can stand up inside said room, and it's acoustically dead, and it's quiet, you're winning. That's a winning combination. I think everybody would agree to that being the winning combination.
Yep.
I'm not sponsored by Pepsi, by the way. I just am drinking it. Deal with it.
Okay, but you didn't even have to mention the brand. Charles, are you stealth promoting Pepsi?
Stealth promoting Pepsi. Da, da, da. Do you want to hold it up to the camera? Like, ta-da! it's backward. Yeah, the label's on backwards, so you can't even read it.
Yeah, not promoting Pepsi. I'm promoting backwards Pepsi. Nice.
Is Pep.
That'll fool them.
Everyone drink Is Pep. It's great. Really, no. I swear we covered this last time. Don't drink soda for voiceover. Don't do it. Stop.
Well, that was one of the many things we said not to do before you try recording something. But yeah, I would not recommend drinking soda before doing voice stuff.
Terrible idea. Also, coffee, have it early in the morning. Don't drink it like 30 minutes before you do a voiceover session. That's bad too. He says with both coffee and soda in here.
Yeah, seems like you have first-hand experience with that stuff.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't do it if this was not the podcast. If I was like, oh, hey, casting director, what's up? Do you want to go through the live recording today? Well, that'd probably be a different director. But anyway, yeah, let me just get some energy down me.
Yeah, what's up? Burp.
Hey, what's up, casting director?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, let's do this, man. I'm ready. Well, that was some unsolicited voiceover. Nobody asked for that.
I did.
Yeah, but you don't count as a human being, do you? Just stop.
Oh, okay. You're right. I forgot my place temporarily.
You did. Me. No, you're forgiven, Sir Edgelord.
Sir Edgelord, yes. Yeah, that is my name, isn't it?
It is. Title. Yeah. That is your new name and title. You've been knighted Sir Edgelord. Yeah, that's right. It's who you are. It's your whole persona now. You didn't even get to choose it.
No, wait. No, I prefer to go by Sir Edge a lot. Please.
You are so bad at jokes.
I know.
I could pay a clown to come on a
You could pay a clown.
I could pay a clown to come on a podcast and juggle, and it would be more entertaining.
Well, why don't you then? Why don't you, Charles? Come on.
Maybe I will.
It's your podcast. You could organize that stuff.
Well, get a clown into the booth. Only the live podcast, only the live viewers will see this. Some dude dressed up in the full makeup starts juggling. Why am I here? What is this for?
Well, I think some of the audience would probably be afraid of clowns, and they'd be like, yeah, nope. not watching that. I'm out.
You know, it's funny you say that. I do know a fair few people who are afraid of clowns.
It seems to be really common, because I keep hearing about it. Like, oh, I'm really afraid of clowns. They're just so unsettling. Never liked them.
Remember yesterday when I was like, God, I cannot believe the helicopters flying overhead.
Yeah. How do you know it wasn't the same helicopter?
Because they came in 5 minutes apart. Well, it might have been, but it would have gone like back to front. Anyway, there's another one coming right now overhead. I can hear it. I don't know if the stream can hear it, but I can hear it.
Okay.
Maybe that one was a plane. It might have been a plane. Oh, someone else is in the chat. Hang on, I will read your message.
Ooh, more people.
They said, hi, it's me. And,
Hi, it's me. Who is me?
Excellent question. I didn't read their name, so... Wait, shouldn't I be able to see the chat on my phone? Wouldn't that be better?
It might be.
Let me see. I reckon I can read chat on my phone. Come on. I'm a technical genius. I believe in myself.
Yeah, do it. You can do it, Charles.
All right. Come on. This has to work. Let's see. Where's the chat mode? There is a chat mode, right? But buddy mode? There. That'll do it. Oh, I think it's working. I think we might have done
working.
it. I can see notifications, but not the chat. This is... Oh, who invented this? You know, I reckon there must be some kind of way. I cannot be this dumb. No. I believe I can get this.
I can vaguely hear people trimming their lawns.
In the background for me?
No, for me.
Oh.
Yeah, I just took a cup off and I'm listening and hearing a whining sound. Sounds like
did you say you took a can off?
Yeah, a cup actually. I said cup because, you know, headphone cups.
All right,
yeah.
Fine. You win. You win. I'll stop overusing the word cans now. I'm sorry.
You wished I used that word, didn't you? Right there.
Oh, apparently the person who said it's me is someone I work with. Hello, person I work with. I'm sure I wouldn't know you. I just... Not only am I terrible at reading the chat, I also can't see Discord. So,
Oh, hello.
R.I.P. that?
Co-worker of Charles.
Yeah. Exciting. Is that seriously another one? Are they just gonna come in daily now? Just helicopter after helicopter at like 6? This is so dumb.
Yeah.
I cannot believe
it's
these
becoming
helicopters.
a militarized zone where you are.
Yeah, I guess the farmers are out and they're annoyed. I tried to do Somerset and it just ended up sounding Scottish. That didn't work, did it?
They're out and they want their cabbages back. I don't know.
Apparently I'm not Mr. Charles. Yes, that's correct. I'm not Mr. Charles. Good job.
Apparently you're not Mr. Charles.
Yeah, that's Or am I? Wow, this is a lot of effort reading the chat. I won't lie. I wasn't expecting it to be this much trouble.
Wait, so your coworker is saying you're not Mr. Charles?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who this person is. Not off the top of my head. It's alright.
Okay, wow.
Anybody who knows me knows for a fact that my memory's terrible and I don't remember handles or anything, or faces or names or conversations or anything.
It's all true. He did not lie right there.
No, I did not. That being said, I'm really good at remembering my lines and my deadlines. Yeah, I'm good with those.
Lines and deadlines?
Yeah, well, that's because I save the lines and the deadlines are put in a calendar, so I'm not good at remembering them, but my phone is very, very good at remembering deadlines and lines. It's effective.
And aspects of people's personality.
Okay, now that my phone is quite good at remembering as well. Well, you don't want to be like ill prepared, do you? Wait, I think am I connected to chat? Can I see people's chat now? Oh no, this is the wrong chat.
Oof.
Connected to the wrong chat. That's typical. Did the oh no, the video's still going, so it looks like I can get chat up live in front of me at some point. I just need to reconfigure the Streamlabs on my tablet, which means soon it will be ready. Also,
soon.
Another note. Oh, this person has written another long message that I can't see. I'll read in a second. Soon, we will be streaming both to Twitch and YouTube. I need to get my restream thing set up properly, and then make sure I can read both chats. That'll be something to work towards for next time.
So, simulcast?
Well, it's essentially you stream to this one site, and it streams to YouTube and Twitch for you, rather than you having to have two outgoing streams yourself. So it's just something that for people who don't have the world's most amazing internet, you can still stream to a couple of platforms, which, I mean, I think the Twitch one normally has less delay than the YouTube one. YouTube one's normally pretty high latency, so it's just an easier platform to stream to. I do prefer Twitch over YouTube, but we do have the channel, so we might as well do something with it. And live streaming seems like an idea. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, it's an idea.
Right, I will promise I will now read this person's message to see. Oh, I see. They thought that they thought the person who introduces the podcast was someone who is not me, who hosts the podcast. That is amazing. I don't know how you were fooled. Yeah, so I think they thought that the person who did Welcome to the Unsolicited Voiceover Podcast, episode 6.
Get all close up to your mic, and then no one can tell.
Exactly. I mean, I don't even use the Go XLR for that. It's just pure skill. Pure skill.
It's just welcome to the Unsolicited Podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you can go talking like this.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh, wait, do you have MPD? Multi-personality disorder? What's going on?
Barney? Is that you, Barney?
Barney?
I don't know why Barney was the personality, but it's the first name that popped in my head when I. But yeah. What other name? What? And also, I think I've confused a fair few people in the editor being a different person on the channel as well. Nobody knows that the editor is the same person. Basically, just unless if you see the streams or the videos, unless someone else is credited in them, assume all the voices are me, because they probably are, including the female voices.
Including the female voices.
Definitely including the female voices.
Have you ever even had a girl on this podcast? Or lady, whatever.
Oh my, we actually haven't, have we? Because the one person who was going to come on, it was like a week ago, and then they couldn't come on, and I said, oh, well, we're doing another stream then, and we're doing another stream then, doing another podcast then, and then they just didn't get back to me. I was like, oh, okay then. I wanted to get,
they just didn't want it.
I wanted to get that person who we almost cast for Bob Psycho a Bridge on, what was it, Polaniki?
Yeah, I think that was her name.
Yeah, because that person's originally Greek, and it's like, wow, what's the Greek voiceover industry like? It's an interesting topic. I'll see if I can get them on. I'll message them so we can get them on. Yeah.
Also Alana, because apparently that didn't go through, right?
We'll get Alana on at some point. I think Cameron Miller as well said he might want to get on, but he's a pretty busy dude. He's a very busy dude.
Did you even get anything from Zachary? Did you get?
I haven't messaged him yet. I haven't messaged him yet.
Okay.
I'll message him at some point. But just haven't got around to messaging him yet, because there was like maybe 7 or 8 people on Casting Call Club who signed up to do the podcast. And I messaged them, and they all kind of got back to me in dribs and drabs. And I was like, okay, well, we're just going to start scheduling the live streams, and you can turn up if you want to at this point. Because I think it's nice to, you know, if you're doing a really interview with a very interesting person who is got some kind of reputation, people is very interesting, then I don't mind scheduling the stream more so around them. But if it's just like regular as aspiring voice actors like me and you who want to come on the podcast and talk about the nothing that they've done for the last 6 years, I'm like, cool, you can come on when we're ready to come on. It's cool to have them on. It's great to have loads of people on. It's great to have different kinds of people on. But if you haven't got anything that's particularly interesting, then it's like, is there really a need to fit the stream to like when I've like 9 p.m. my time, so you can talk about having an Australian accent for 4.5 minutes? I'm like, not sure.
Having an Australian accent for 4.5 minutes.
Well, I don't know. Nobody in Casting Call Club was doing that. I think I will go for an earlier stream with Seb though. I think we were going to do it Sunday. Now I can't remember when he's going to do it. Maybe he said Friday.
What time exactly? Is it so early that I'd be asleep, or?
It's so early that I don't think you'd be around. He could probably do the podcast as late as like 12 noon, which was 6 hours ago.
Which was 6 hours ago.
6.5 hours ago. So that's what, like.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, that's at like 7 my time.
So way earlier than you'd want to do it, but I think he might be able to do one at a push.
Yeah. I could do 7. Yeah, that's doable.
Wait, is there more chat messages? I'm so bad with this chat. I really need to read it. I wish can I zoom in? Can I zoom in on the chat? No, I still wouldn't be able to read it. Let me see.
They're probably like, stop talking about future podcasts on this podcast, you loons.
Oh, yeah. The editing. The amount of editing I'm going to have to do to condense the podcast down to just the actual stuff that anybody cares to listen to is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But we get to have the fun conversations while we're live. You know, the exciting ones. The ones that really matter. Like, what's happening next?
What's happening next?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, should we move on to the next segment then?
Sure. Unless you want to keep talking about future podcasts.
All right. There's no need to be so sarcastic. God. An attitude today.
No, who says I'm being sarcastic? Maybe you want to keep talking about
no need for
stuff that you've got planned.
What?
Maybe.
All right. Yeah, so the next thing is, you know, we've had a few rounds of various different casting calls come our way, our collective way, over in one Discord server where we share casting calls and information, other kinds of stuff. Link to join that in the description eventually. Yeah, eventually. So at some point I'll remember to put it in there. And some of them were paid, and some of them were paid in very peculiar ways. And a lot of people always ask, when they're getting into voiceover, okay, so say you got a setup. Say you go into your closet or something, it's not the most amazing, you got like a entry-level XLR microphone, but you can do voiceover on it. You know, you can do character work on it, and you go, okay, now I've auditioned for some stuff, been cast in some stuff. I'm looking to audition for, like, you know, good, decent projects that will go ahead this time. How do we know when a project is going to go ahead, and how do we know when a paid project is actually worth the money they're giving you for the time investment? Because we've had some pretty astonishingly bad rates recently.
Yeah. I think it was like, one was like 5,000 words and you get paid $175 US.
And that was character work. That wasn't narration work. That was character work. So the idea is, with narration work, after you get into the character of the narrator, you're if you are naturally talented with narration, which you should be if you want to be a narrator, you can actually kind of just go through all the lines because you're not having to give emotional delivery with very niche and nuanced circumstances with the narrator. You're just telling the story. So if you're talking about $175 for 5,000 words of narration, it's slightly more. It's not great. It's pretty terrible. It's definitely below the average. But it could be worse. And actually, that's not a huge sum of work if you are a talented narrator who can, I don't know, not necessarily even punch and roll, but just get your narration work quickly once you've gone to the character and gone to the voice. Doing actual character work, though, for 5,000 words, that's insane. Especially the kind of character that this particular project had. It was... They were looking for a voice, and I expect probably a performance, or hoping for a performance too similar to Joel from The Last of Us. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what The Last of Us is. If you don't, it's a game that's quite popular on the PlayStation. Character, story-driven kind of adventure game, essentially. And the story, the acting is that game's selling point. Visuals, yes, but story and acting is the game's... It's why people love it, because it's a great series. And from that kind of a standpoint, if you're making a game or a title that is character-driven and requires amazing acting, and you're paying $175 for it, like, you get, sure, hundreds of people in Casting Call Club will audition with USB microphones because they don't know. But anybody who can actually deliver the performance you want, no, they're like $175. That's like, what, a month of character work? Up 50 plus probably live recording sessions. No. Nobody.
Yeah, no.
But that's not the worst one we've seen. Now, this is someone whose original rates were about, and they were still negotiable on this. And although this was an indie game project, they weren't a whole studio. It was just one solo dude who was doing it. So paying for it out of pocket. And there are other games that they created were not. They were free to play. So there was a reason why it wasn't just bad rates for the sake of bad rates. It was bad rates because that's literally the budget constraints, which is somewhat respectable, especially when you're doing stuff like that completely solo. But, another terrible project we saw, it was a couple months ago, or maybe 1 month ago, maybe it wasn't even that long ago. Audiobook project, 65,000 words. And how much did it pay you? Do you remember? Do you remember this one?
Do I remember this one? 65. Was it like $50?
Yeah.
It was 50?
It was $50 for an audiobook narration of 65,000 words. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. For a professional person, voiceover artist on Amazon ACX, it would take them a month to do that. And they would get paid like literally $3,000 or $4,000 or maybe even $5,000.
Yeah.
Because it's a month of someone's time. They're not just like, skinnying around with their day. You're talking like a 9 to 5 working day in and out the booth, doing the audio editing and sending off. And then you gotta remember, if you're sending an audiobook to be done through ACX and you don't hire a producer, which in this Casting Call particular, this was on Casting Call Club, not on ACX, did not have a producer for it. You're also doing all of the production yourself, including the mixing. Now, do you have any idea how much you'd have to pay an audio engineer to mix a 65,000 words audiobook? Just who? Why?
Yeah.
Why was that even a thing? Like, and now more recently, and that was a controversial one. My goodness, did that blow up on Twitter? I thought that was really funny. So, a Casting Call Cup came out. It was like a gacha game or something on mobile, and it was an indie development company, few developers together with a pool. They obviously had some kind of budget. The budget was very constrained. Anyway, they had a marketing only, I think it was just marketing and publishing only relationship with Crunchyroll Games. However, Crunchyroll Games slapped their logo all over the marketing, and it was not specified that that was the relationship they had. So when this indie game dev company made a casting call, and everybody immediately knew that they were affiliated with Crunchyroll Games, and they offered the rates that they did, everyone was standing there like, first of all, why is this a public casting call? It shouldn't be. This is Crunchyroll Games. They have their own private roster of voice actors, probably in the LA Union. Where's Crunchyroll again? It probably will be some kind
somewhere in the Western U.S.
They might get it. They might have a roster of freelancers as well. But either way, it should not have been a public casting call in the first place. It should have been sent out privately, because that is the kind of production quality that Crunchyroll Games would normally have. However, this is an indie dev, and they made a public casting call, and the rates were not horrendous for freelance work. Not totally horrendous. No, there was no word count, so it might have been horrendous. But from what we imagine, not totally horrendous. But given that they had this whole, like, literally looked like a partnership with Crunchyroll Games. And it, for all intents and purposes, everybody at the time thought it was a development partnership, and they would be fun. The Crunchyroll Games would be budgeting these indie developers to make this game. That was not the case. But wow, the backlash. Crunchyroll Games underpaying their voice actors. Whoa! It hadn't even started yet. Oh, someone else has posted a chat message. I'm just going to check this. They said hello. I say hello back. Also, yeah, chat messages. So sorry. I am not going to be reading too many of those today. What can you do? But yeah, God, terrible casting calls. And they seem good. Comparatively. If you're a new voice actor and you don't really know totally what you're doing, casting calls, they look good. They'll have medals attached to them on Casting Call Club. They'll be paid. Most of them will even get moderator approved, which is not the most common thing for paid projects. But most of these kind of indie dev, where they provide the history of the games they've done, will get moderator approved. And normally those are the flags that say this is a good project, at least by Casting Call Club standards. But those aren't the only standards to go by. If you're looking at paid work and you have a setup anything close to this, if you have a treated space room with a decent microphone and you're looking for paid work, do not sell yourself short for the sake of the kind of exposure a project like that will get you. Now, you can do it, you can make the mistake, and if you have the time, but just bear in mind that it's an awful lot more work than you think it is, and you only get one shot at making it good. Because, there isn't this loyalty. If you don't hand in your lines on time, or you're struggling to get the lines in on time because you didn't know how much work it was, and you may have agreed to some unreasonable things, they'll chuck you and get someone else. Because there is a whole queue of people who would love to get exposure from these terrible indie devs. Not terrible indie devs. They're good indie devs. They just don't know what they're doing when it comes to paying people. So be careful with paid projects. My goodness. Because it doesn't mean you can't audition for them. Auditioning for these things is a great way to get scouted by other indie devs who are more interested in just hearing how people approach a kind of casting call like that. Now, private casting calls that happen on Casting Call Club, not very common. Most of the time they're sent out by email rosters and nothing to do with them. But if you do happen to get into one of those via auditioning for some other indie dev's project and you give a solid audition, they say, hey, look, don't go work for them. They're paying you like $12 to do a whole audiobook. No. Come do it for us. We'll pay you reasonable rates. That's fine. But this is something you gotta be careful, because if you get cast for that kind of stuff, you're expected to do the project. But yeah, don't agree to unreasonable things. It benefits no one, and it definitely will not benefit you. You might think that the exposure is worth it, but it's not. It's not.
I've never really been invited to a private casting call from Casting Call Club, so I wouldn't
You haven't?
really know. Nope. I mean, then again, I only have like 40 auditions up.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. And you've never had a demo reel on your profile either.
Right.
I've never had a good demo reel on my profile, but I had one, and that did get me invited to a private casting call on Casting Call Club that I did not audition for because I was not interested in the project. It was a private audition, private casting call, so it wasn't in the searchable roster, and it was just somebody who had just basically DM'd a bunch of people that they think would fit certain characters, like 4 or 5 per like the 8 characters they had, and it was just not even a paid project. I was like, okay, well, like, sure, it could be good, or it could be terrible. Not for me. I already have way too much work going on.
Yeah,
or not enough.
You really do.
No, I don't. That's a lie.
Or not enough?
Well, as soon as I always say this, I think I'm actually saying this now officially every day. Oh, I'm going to record my character reel stuff today. Still didn't do it today.
Well, I mean, I guess it's sort of the same with me, except I really could. Like, right after this podcast, I could just, and I probably should, just sit down, open up that Google Doc, open up Audition, and just start doing it. It wouldn't even be all that much effort to move stuff around.
No, I agree. You should do that, and perhaps we'll, if you wanted someone to direct you on that.
Oh, yeah, I'm open to
Wiggles
that.
eyebrows.
I just figured you'd be too busy with other things.
As far as I know, I haven't got anything going on after the podcast, other than maybe reading the chat messages. I'm gonna go read them.
Oh, well, all right then. It's a date.
Oh, wow. It looks like somebody actually knew one of the casting calls I was talking about and said it was like $1 per line. That's right. That was the anime one. You're right. It was $1 per line on this character recording thing. And in comparison, the other project we were talking about, so we thought, all right, that one got outraged for being $1 per line for these characters on this mobile game. The one I was talking about with the indie developer wasn't $1 per line. It wasn't 10 cents per line. It was barely 2 cents per line. It worked out 5,000 words of originally over $75, which came out as 0.015.
Wait, it was just 75, not 175?
Yeah, that's right. And it started off because remember, I emailed the guy and said, "Look, $75 for 5,000. Are you insane? Like what?" I didn't word it like that. I was, we had a very polite discussion and talked about things, and I would never be openly rude to people unless they're on the podcast. I have no problem talking a lot of smack. I just wouldn't say it to people's faces because that's rude.
Yeah, so you're like, "Excuse me, sir, I cannot help but express my apprehension."
You know what? The email was surprisingly close to that. Do you want me to read you what I said?
Okay, sure. I didn't think I would get that close. That was just messing around, but all right.
Yeah, no. It was surprisingly close to that. Let me see what I said the first time round. Oh wow. This is I didn't realize my email was this huge. Apologies for waving my finger in everyone's face. All right, here we go. So this is what I said. Dear blah, blah, blah. I'm writing to you in response to the casting call you posted to the CCC website. I was curious about rates with this project. I've seen you have other games made and a lot of work goes into them. I don't know much about the voiceover done with those, but in this game, the focus seems to be on characters and the story. The casting call came into my network of voice actors recently, and many are wondering just how negotiable the rates are, because the person did say the rates were negotiable. And I said, well, we've seen several indie developers that are offering as much as, $30 per hour spent in live recording, plus 0.1% royalties, which was not the Crunchyroll game. That was a different one. Those rates aren't good either, by the way. Yeah, we said under normal circumstances, those rates are widely considered to be unacceptably low compared to the standards. Not necessarily standards for indie devs, they're okay, but general standards, they're not good. And then I went on to say, but given a 0.2 royalty share post return on investment of the project, long-term benefits can work out for the voice actor. With your casting call, a flat offer of $75 is put for the main character. Now, I don't mean to be rude. I understand just how constraining the budget of an indie dev is. I'm at university myself, studied information security along the road, and made many tightly budgeted games. However, Given the work to produce a great performance that would get the game sales, we collectively agreed it would be worth reaching out and asking just how high you were willing to go. Currently, the rates work out to be just $0.015 per word. The lowest rates of voice actor would normally set would be almost 5 times that amount. I'm not suggesting that you won't get any voice actors auditioning or that anyone will advise their respective networks to avoid the project. Well, the VAC might, which they didn't say anything on it, which is lucky. Aside from them, though, the truly freelancers voice actors will probably audition. You might even get a great person to do the whole project, but most voice actors I know, both professional and aspiring, would agree that a title like this really does need a good performance to succeed, and I just don't think you'll get that with the current rates, especially not if you want audio editing done on top of that. And I went on to say that, many quote-unquote newbie freelance voice actors, even with quality equipment, will not be well-versed in the audio editing department anyway. And I said, that being said, I salute you for the hard work you've done in your games. I wish you all the best with the project, kind regards. And then he got back to me, slapped another 100, and then, other people I'm sure reached out to the guy. He's been really great at responding to my emails. We did have a back and forth. Nice dude. But, yeah, poor dude did not expect to get slammed on his own casting call. Did you see the comments on his project?
I did not. I don't think I bothered reading them.
Yeah, those are pretty savage too. I won't lie. Those were also pretty savage.
Well, Ben.
It wasn't the guy's fault. It was not the guy's fault.
Yeah.
He
doesn't sound like
he didn't. I haven't played his games. They're free to play. You can go on to the casting call that we're on about the Far Games Summerhold. I can't remember the name of the casting call. But if you go on to him, you can go and look at his website. See his other 2 games. Link to the Steam store, and you can download them. They're free to play, and then you can kind of get a feel for what is going on with the current project. And I would have advised everybody who is planning to audition to have done that before they audition, but 900 people have already auditioned for it. It's been up for 2 days.
Of course.
900 people. They're like, whoa, paid projects? Money!
Yeah. And they all have USB mics.
We spoke about that in our emails, me and the dude, and I was like, I feel so sorry for you. You need to get a casting director in because, dude, you have 900 auditions, but 4 of them are good. Right. I'm gonna double check the chat a second. Yeah, hello everyone. Sorry, I keep mentioning about the chat. I did not get chat sorted out on my tablet for this stream. I know, terrible. We will get it sorted.
Shame on you, Charles.
Shame on me. It's because I'm logged into my Twitch account on the tablet, so I can't see the YouTube chat, which is a pain. And I don't want to try logging out because I think we'll lose the video. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe we won't. Should we try it? Should we try,
I think experimenting mid-stream, mid-podcast is a bad idea.
I don't think it is. I think it's a great idea.
Well, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe nothing bad will happen. All right.
I do want to be able to read. Oh. Does it know? Does it know my YouTube?
Does it know your YouTube?
No, it doesn't. All right, I think that's the camera gone. Yeah, the camera's gone. It will be back. It will be back. I promise.
Oof.
I'm gonna sign in with my my YouTube, and I will be able to see the chat. I should have done this at the start, shouldn't I? Oh well. What can you do? Yeah, I'm actually kind of liking having the podcast be live now. I do like the viewer interaction. Speaking of, I was gonna check the chat again while I'm logging into this. 900. The dude, Summerhold, whatever that was at. It was 900 auditions, not 200. So in 2 days, got to 900 auditions. And
literally 900.
Yeah, literally 900. And he plans to keep the past casting call open, I believe, until the end of its deadline, which is at the end of the month, start of next month. Which, I mean, credit to him. It's pretty wild, but yeah.
He's going to have 5,000 auditions by that time or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Yeah, that's not something I'm gonna bother auditioning for.
Well, I wanted to send in an audition, not for the main role because that's nothing to do with me. I was gonna go for the actual the main villain and just basically steal someone else's idea. They basically made him sound super like Cockney, I guess, kind of that kind of vibe. The same thing I did for the unique voice, basically. I wanted to give that a go for that character, but I think I would rather email it to him than send it through Casting Call Club because have I told you about Casting Call Clubs? So I. Okay, that was interesting. Yes, have I told you about what was going on with Casting Call Clubs and me sending in my auditions? Did I tell you anything about that?
Maybe it just doesn't really give notifications anymore.
Well, that's one thing. I don't get notified, even though I have all the preferences turned on. I don't get notified of people messaging me. I don't get notified of people upvoting my stuff, commenting on my stuff. When I get cast for stuff, I don't get notified. You have no idea how annoying that is. Yeah, none of the notifications work. But on top of that, when I submit an audition, normally I record for auditioning purposes in 48 kilohertz mono, 24-bit. And because if you have Gold, you can upload up to 20 megs of audio file, I upload that normally, just straight up upload it. The problem is this. Now, there is an audio conversion library. It also does a lot of other things called FFmpeg. It deals with actually the way I stream my tablet to the thing as well. It does a whole bunch of stuff, but essentially it's how he's converting all audio files, whether they're uploaded in FLAC or whatever it is they're uploaded in, to something the browser can play easily, which is MP3 files in a very specific MP3 codec. The sample rate conversion is not good at all. It's in 44.1 kilohertz. You can still upload stereo stuff, so it converts it to stereo MP3. And the quality control on a sample rate conversion is not good. So if you upload in 192, it'll get bit crushed. If you upload in 48, it'll get bit crushed. If you upload in 40, however, if you upload an MP3, it won't convert it. It doesn't do anything to it. So I think the bit rate it has on the MP3, I think is the default like 168 kilobits per second MP3, 44.1 kilohertz. That's the file type that Casting Call will convert your WAVs or FLACs to, and the sample rate conversion is bad.
FLACs.
You can't upload them.
You can, not if you're a free member. Maybe it's different if you're gold, but yeah, if I could upload FLACs, I would have been doing that.
Yeah, but I've been uploading WAVs for a long time, and it's been bit crushing my audio the whole time, and it's only when I actually went back and listened to them that I noticed in the first place.
So if you get like an MP3, if you export it as MP3 in like 320 kilobits per second, it'll bit crush that further though?
No. So if you convert your WAV 48 kilohertz into an MP3 of 48 kilohertz with the 362 kilobits per second, it keeps it. Interesting.
Okay.
And as a result, your audio files, if you have a natural sample rate of 48 kilohertz, which by default, the way I currently have my interface set up, I can change it to 192, but it's currently default set up by 48 kilohertz. That is how I would record it naturally, which means no sample rate conversion. Just a little bit of file compression, and thus my audio does not get bit crushed when Adobe Audition handles the file compression itself. So, advice, bottom line is this: don't upload WAVs, but do your MP3 conversion yourself. And if the project director asks for WAVs, kindly inform them that they will get bit crushed unless they could download them. If they're planning to download all the audio files, which I think any self-respecting casting director would do, Yeah, but that doesn't happen very often though. Most of the time I just flick through them and listen to them on Casting Cool Club, because if you download them, not everybody names their files in normal ways unless you can't always remember, and yeah, it can be problematic. Right. I think this...
What? You think
I'm just saying that the stream thing, I think it should be working. So I'm gonna go quickly turn the video back on, and you can say whatever it was you're gonna say.
All right. Yeah. Well, it might require your input afterwards, but my method is just I tend to record obviously WAVs in like 24-bit, 192 kilohertz, and then when I'm done doing everything to it, I just export it as MP3 and upload that, and it automatically converts it to 48 kilohertz and whatever 16-bit, I don't know. But in that conversion that Audition does, when you export it, does the MP3 gets obviously it's lesser quality, but is that still a bad idea to do, or could I get better quality from doing something differently, just recording a lower sample rate from the get-go?
So ideally, I would say I think if your your input device does its sample rate at 192 anyway, if you change the sample rate of the file, it'll add more delay to your recording, and it'll just convert the sample rate as you go in. So I would say record it at 192 anyway. Yeah. Because it will do sample rate conversion no matter what file you select it as, unless you do it as 192. And you might as well have it do it in post. I would say do that, and then mix it down to a 48 kilohertz WAV, and then mix that down to an MP3 in the 3. And the idea is, I think the sample rate conversion between WAVs is better. Also, there's a quality slider with sample rate conversion on Adobe Audition. Crank that one all the way up.
There's a sample slider? Oh, there's a quality slider for what?
Sample rate conversion. So if you are exporting a file in Adobe Audition, and the default quality is like mid for sample rate conversions, if you're going from a 192 kilohertz WAV to a 48 or 44.1 kilohertz MP3, it will convert the sample rate, and the quality will not be very high. Even when Adobe Audition does it by default, but you can just crank it up.
Okay.
Yeah. It's an important thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, actually useful advice for once. What is this podcast? What's going on?
I know, right?
We're being helpful? No.
Actually might help me and many other people.
Yeah, I didn't have a very long exchange with both of it. It was literally just in the Casting Call Club Discord, and I was like, what kind of sample rate conversion is going on in the Casting Call Club? And he told me, and I was like, yes, that explains everything.
So mix it down to 48 kilohertz before you make it an MP3?
Yeah. So as far as my research has told me, Adobe Audition will... The highest quality preset of Adobe Audition's sample rate conversion is when converting from a WAV to a WAV. So if you do that first, and you end up, so you have a 192 kilohertz WAV, and then you have a 48 kilohertz WAV, and then you open up the 48 kilohertz WAV and export that as a 48 kilohertz 362, whatever it is, kilobits per second .mp3. That is probably the highest quality Casting Call Club will accept. Okay. And now, obviously, in terms of downloading, it would be nice if you could upload your, 192 kilohertz WAV sometimes, but a 48 kilohertz WAV, which is significantly smaller file size, that would give you even better quality if some people download it. But it just bear in mind that it will bit crush your WAVs, and not all of mine were audibly, well, yes, all of them were audibly bit crushed, but not all of them were like, if you listen to it at a regular volume, were they audibly bit crushed. But some of the more recent ones absolutely were. It was really bad.
Ooh. Well, all mine are probably super bit crushed as well, because I didn't know this information until now, so.
Yeah, it's only certain times, but yeah, specifically with mine, and I had to resubmit maybe 4 or 5 auditions. I sent in that were 48 kilohertz mono WAVs, and then I had to convert them myself to MP3s, which was a pain, but it's helpful. It is something good to know. Hey, remember when I said doing this kind of stuff midstream was a really bad idea?
Did you say that though?
No. Well, it was a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm the one who said experimenting midstream is probably a bad idea. And you're like, I'll do it anyways.
Yeah, it was a bad idea. I don't...
Yeah, I thought so.
Where's my camera gone? Camera?
I don't know, man. I warned you.
Oh, here we go. Okay, go to the editor and add a camera. Okay, editor, add camera. Oh, there we go. I think I've done it.
Oh, the E-boy's back. Oh.
What did you just say? What?
You heard me.
No. That's unacceptable.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. That's too far. All right, now.
Too far?
Yeah, it is.
All right, anyways, you wanted to move on, I'm assuming?
Yeah, that's right. I wanted to move on to the final topic of today's podcast. Casting directors. How important do you think getting a casting director is?
A casting director?
Yeah, say you're a YouTuber or doing any kind of stuff like that. How important is a casting director?
And I'm making a project, and I just can't be bothered to sort through all the auditions. I'd say, or what else would a casting director do?
Well, above all else, they're your liaison between yourself and the voice actors. If you're busy with a project and you got stuff, I think camera might be back on. We might have a camera now. This is wild. Let's see,
wild.
Shall we?
Yeah, sure.
I think we're back. Yeah. Camera's back. We're back on. All right, now I just need to go do chat. So let's see. Where's chat? Oh. Wait, no, buddy mode. I should be. Does this give me chat? I think it does. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I was wrong. This thing gives me chat. What did that do?
No idea. I'm not really watching the stream, so.
Yeah, I have no idea what that did. I guess we'll just hope that turned the chat on, and if somebody else types a message, I will hopefully see it. I guess we'll see. I mean, I can see when people type the messages, I just can't read them, so I guess we'll see. But yeah, casting directors. If you don't have one for your project, and you're taking your project seriously, and you want to get great voice actors who know what they're doing, casting director. Get a casting director. Now, there's a couple of different types of casting directors. There's a casting director that will open a public casting call, like on Casting Call Club, and they will get in freelance voiceover artists over on there, or a casting director might have a private roster of voice actors. Depending on which will depend on if a given casting director has any experience and knows what they're doing, if they're an actual casting director or if they're just a voice actor who you think has a great ear for talent. I would still absolutely suggest that every project should have a casting director, though, of some sort, because unless you're a voice actor yourself with a lot of experience and you know what good quality sounds like, most of the time you're not going to have time for casting call stuff. And I would say, almost without a doubt, I found that out the hard way with Mob Psycho. I think I could have had the project done a lot sooner if I had just said, all right, you go forth and you will be my casting director. You're going to deal with the voice actors. You're going to get them to deal with their lines. You're going to do the live direction. And I'm going to sit back, sort through the video, and do the project ownership stuff. Especially if you're dealing with a YouTube project. So important to have a casting director. Because not every time, if you're not like an audio engineer, or you don't have experience piecing this stuff together, or you don't know what great audio sounds like, or you don't have the time to make a great casting call, get a casting director. You don't have to pay them money. Some
Who would
people
you
just
have
want to do it.
gotten?
For Mob, I would have had to do it myself. I don't know any casting directors. I wish I did know someone else. But yeah, I guess now I could give you a role as a casting director, but you would just be using probably the server to cast roles, I expect, and maybe a casting call. Yeah.
Yeah, and it would also mean that I couldn't audition for the project myself.
Well, you could audition for the project yourself.
Well, yeah, but then it's like, okay, I've auditioned and I have to choose the best one. Some bias. Maybe?
Yeah, that might be the case. But again, that's something, that you and any given project director would have to come to an agreement upon. But what I'm hoping to do with the server now pushing it forward is I'm gonna make a casting. Have I told you about this? I don't think I have. I haven't even told you. I'm gonna make a casting call for a group of just to get like maybe 10-ish more voice actors who are actually good voice actors into the server to start up like a private little collection. That's right. We're gonna do
private little collection.
Yeah, that's right. Now the purpose is this. If you're a voice actor and you have a network of voice actors, you get more projects, they get more projects. Yeah, there's unlimited benefits to knowing voice actors and being in constant communication and having a public place where you can communicate with them. There's literally unlimited benefits, but not only is it useful if you have a large-ish, you don't want a huge number, but like being part of a circle of voice actors who at least act. So essentially what I would say is this. If I was starting up a new project myself, the roles would go to the server first. I would consider like, okay, Null, JR Knight, probably Switch, probably, anyone else who's in the server that I know, Jeff.
Yeah.
The roles, I would think about these voice actors who I know first because I have experience working with them. I know what they can produce. I don't have experience with people on Casting Call Club.
So you want to get more people, just more people in the server who
Not just more people in the server, but essentially kind of make a casting call where I can listen to people's audio quality and they can demonstrate what their acting range is and see if they're just interested. See if we get a couple, get a couple demo reels in or something like this. Because we basically just have a group of blokes, which is super unhelpful the second I actually need someone to come in for a female role to do something. But it's not only useful for that, it's useful for if I want to put myself out there as a voice actor who could, do some kind of casting directorish kind of stuff. It sounds interesting. You got to have a roster of people you know.
So you're going to make a casting call geared towards the ladies so you have more girls to simp for? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, wow. That was, wow. I can't believe you just said that. Someone in the chatted something and it didn't pop up on the screen. I'm mildly depressed, but I'm going to go read what they said too. I'll get back to you on that one.
Oh, all right.
Very interesting. This person in the chat has been a casting director for a couple of short films. Very interesting.
Oh.
If you want to get on the podcast, you should say so.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we'd be happy to have you on. BFW JR Knight. Wait, what? Is he saying that he's JR Knight?
BFW, I don't know.
I don't know. I know, dude. If you're listening and it's still you there, are you saying you know JR Knight or you are JR Knight?
JR Knight? Because if you are JR Knight, well, what the heck?
We're having you back on. We're having you back on. Why didn't you tell us about this in the other podcast? What are you doing? But if you're not and you just happen to know JR Knight, that's also fine. And if you want to come on talking about casting director stuff, yes, please do. All right, let's see. He just said yes. Is this yes? You're not JR Knight. Okay, I'm gonna assume this is JR Knight. You know what?
Yeah, I'm gonna assume it's JR Knight too, because. All right.
Yeah. What are you doing, JR Knight? Do you want to get on the podcast right now?
Yeah, get on here with your neat King Bee mic and tell us about your experience as a casting director.
What have you been doing this whole time, dude? Where have you been?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he is JR Knight. Exactly. What are you get in the podcast? I'm gonna send you a link. What are you doing?
Yeah. What the heck man, come on.
Unbelievable, dude. I'm getting you a link. I'm gonna send him a link to CleanFeed right now.
He's gonna come on and he'll instantly revert to his trap voice. That'll be great. Yeah.
Wow, nice. Just be silent, why don't you? God, keep him busy.
Oh, all right. What do you want me to say?
I don't know. I'm gonna be done.
Am I supposed to improv? Oh, okay. I thought you were good at multitasking. What? You can't do that and talk at the same time? Wow. So good at multitasking, aren't you, Charles? Oh, yeah. I think I also did not mention that I got a new XLR cable, and it's actually the Beeline cable for the mic that JR Knight uses, the Neat King B, and boy is it beefy. It is
I remember
the
you saying.
beefiest, most rugged XLR cable I've ever seen. Admittedly, I haven't seen too many, but.
All right, here we go. He's getting in. He's apparently getting in.
Oh boy.
Did somebody say they need a trap voice?
Hey,
yes.
dude, what's
yes.
going on?
Yes, we did.
Hey.
I have not checked any of my audio levels, so have fun with that.
You sound fine,
rest
actually.
in peace. Rest in peace, me. I wonder if CleanFeed's gonna pick you up. Let me quickly check.
Oh no. Well, yeah, I don't know if you heard that, JR Knight, but I actually got your cable, your XLR cable. I'm assuming you have it.
Yeah, you're actually in. You're in. It started recording you.
Yeah.
I'm going to order that cable in soon. I'm using a cheapo generic one, but I need something super pretentious to go with my super pretentious microphone. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah, I think I need something like that as well, because I got the back of my XLR cable on the stream now, and I'm like, oh. But what if it was pretentious?
I mean, it is a pretty interesting design, and I thought you would have had it from like some sort of bundle that you got with your Neat King B mic.
No, I just got this mic cheap. I didn't have any bundle with it.
Well, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I'm getting an interface at the end of the month, so I'll just whack on an XLR cable with it.
Whack on an XLR cable with it, okay.
Because you can never have too many XLR cables.
No, you really cannot have too many XLR cables. You can have too many terrible ones, but you can't have too many.
So, casting, directing.
Yeah, why didn't you mention this last? I'm so annoyed.
Yeah. Absolute punk.
I was a
punk.
I was a very busy girl throughout my uni days.
So when it comes to casting and directing, what we used to do for live action shows is you wouldn't necessarily go through just scripts alone. Like some people would send in like their demo reel or something, or we might ask them to read out a line. But sometimes the line is not the best way to determine if they can nail the character. So that'd be a case of looking through all these auditions. We would pick out a few like, oh, these guys have a bit of good range. They can show the dynamic emotions that you require. Bring them out to a coffee shop or something, or in this case, voice acting, probably get them on a Discord thing. Just
Yeah, well,
talk with them a
I'd
bit,
get him
have
on
them-
Clean Feed, but yeah.
And what we would do then is just you would think about what type of emotion. So you, as a casting director, you've read through the script. You know what this character is that you're casting for. What are their emotions? What are their beats? And then you would get the actor in, and not necessarily playing the character you want, but you want to pinpoint, can they nail that emotion in any other way?
Yeah, which is, I think, I definitely get why having a great demo reel is so important in that regard. But yeah, well, that's interesting. Casting, you're a casting director and you didn't say so. Wow.
Oh, I was a casting director at uni. I don't know if that's a professional title or not, but
Well, I mean, you have
It
experience
is relevant.
with it. It is all relevant. Yeah. Well, now I know who I would hand over casting director title
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. See.
yeah, I was looking at
I'd
that
probably wanna audition.
that project you just talked about. Where it's like nearly 1,000 auditions. I'm like, how would I manage that? I'd be like, okay, it's time to get fucking brutal. 2 seconds in, no. 2 seconds in, no. 2 seconds in, no.
That's exactly. And I can't believe just like how blown up. I was so sorry to do. And the worst thing is that he said he was like getting his friends and family to help him with it. And I was like, oh, dude.
That's why when it initially was brought up, and I was like, oh, these rates are unacceptable. I'm like, I'm getting a hint that this guy is like a starting person, so it might be worth just talking with him, helping explain the process, explain look, this is what you're asking, and this is what people are interpreting from it, and because at the end of the day, this industry is all about helping each other up. It's not once you start dogpiling and tearing each other down, it's kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah, and I offered the dude, I was like, hey, you got a lot of auditions here, like, I know some people who might be able to give you a hand with this, and they might even do it for free, and he's like, nah, and I was like, okay, like, you're not gonna end up with the most fantastic quality, though. But, yeah, I mean, it's up to the guy, of course, do whatever
Need
you
about
want.
5 casting directors for that one.
I don't think so. I think in reality, what a casting director would probably do is start up a private casting call. And then send like as few as possible roles out to the public.
The first step you'd be getting
Yeah.
is through the brutal process of elimination. You'd be literally looking through the first 2-3 seconds of the audio and going, nope, they're out, nope, they're out.
That's exactly
And when-
what it was like for Mob Psycho as well. What is it, like
Yeah.
200 projected auditions? More than?
Something like that.
Yeah. And that was before I had shortlisted a lot of anyone, really. But yeah.
We didn't have anyone for Ritsu for the longest time.
No, I did have to reach out privately to get someone for Ritsu.
Yeah, it was Tomato, yeah?
Yeah, I was getting close to the point where I was almost like, I might have to voice this guy. Yeah.
Oh, no. Gonna have to be an edgelord.
Yeah, well, I would have just like probably adapted the dialogue a little bit and made it into a character that would better suit what kind of I could deliver. I think it was what would have happened if I could find one, but I did find someone, so that was fine. But yeah, what do you think of the prospect of expanding? Well, you're in the server, dude. What do you think about the prospect of expanding it, getting a bunch more voice actors in there, starting up a little private club? It's not very private.
Voice actresses?
Well, both, yeah.
What was it Zero said? Like, more girls for you to simp on?
Yeah.
Yeah, more girls
Oh,
for you
that's
to
right. I
sing
never even
for.
responded to that. I was like,
Yeah,
dude.
you never did. I figured you
Unbelievable.
just couldn't recover from that.
I couldn't
When he-
recover.
When he,
Move on.
when he, when he said, I'm going to read the comments, you just in the background.
Yeah, that's what happened. This is the real reason I was wearing the shades the whole time, is just to cover up my
It's like that,
tears.
Yeah.
it's that scene like in American Dad with Roger when they're all roasting him and he's just there with the sunglasses, nodding his head, clapping every now and again. You take away the sunglasses, he's got like fucking mascara running down his face and he's crying.
Mascara.
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah. That's that's
no.
what's going on. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I always knew you were effeminate, Charles. Mascara, getting your hair straightened and dyed.
Dude, at this point, do I really even get my hair straightened? Like, I don't think I've straightened it for days. I just can't be bothered.
For days, not weeks or months or years, but days. Okay, all right, Charles.
Oh, right. Oh, you're like, haven't gotten your hair straightened for a couple of days. You're so effeminate. Okay, right. Fine, you take that. I see what it is.
Yeah, it's okay. You can always throw me back in my edgelord corner to make it easy.
Well, now you've got a whole booth dedicated to being an edgelord, so
I do. Yes, I do.
Is that a converted booth, or did you build one of those PVC booths?
he's just in his
Converted
closet.
booth. It's my closet. Yeah. But-
Same as me.
Yeah, same as you and I guess Charles, sort of.
Yeah.
It's not in the closet, but
Well,
it's- it
you've
also
seen
is.
you've seen my booth now. What do you think, dude? Do you like it?
It's pretty boothy.
It is. What about you, Jenna? Do you like the booth? Do you think it's?
It looks very restrictive. Like you won't be able to throw your hands around a bit, and
It's not
Oh,
as
I can't throw
restrictive
my
as it
hands
seems.
around.
I can throw my hands around a fair amount, especially if because I wouldn't necessarily do voiceover when I'm like standing directly at the mic like I do for the podcast. I always have the microphone closer to the foam panels and have it off to the side, and I speak up to the side so I can kind of like get angry at the foam, you know?
I had the issue last night. I was doing a roll and I got too into it, and I accidentally punched my mic.
You punched your mic?
Punched your mic. Well, I mean,
It's like,
it kinda
oh, I've had enough
deserves
of
it,
this.
doesn't it?
Good thing is the fucking King Bee, and it's like a brick, and it can take a bit. I was just
I
literally-
don't think I've ever hit my microphone before out of in character rage. That's a new one.
Luckily, it was
Well,
the
I
frame.
mean-
Like I kind of clipped the bottom frame. I was like, "Oh shit!" Grab the mic. Luckily, I didn't hit the important part.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
well, I
I've ever.
mean,
I've hit
it's-
the stand. I've definitely hit the stand. I've kicked the stand. I've hit the stand. I've slapped the stand, but I've never dropped a mic, and I've never assaulted a mic. So I would say I'm winning in that department.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the Neat King Bee is made of 100% pretentiousness, so it'll be fine.
Perhaps hitting the microphone is part of its like ritual awakening. So you got to hit it like
Yeah.
5 times, and afterwards you got to like massage it back to health, and then it like evolves into a Neumann U87.
Yeah, you just hit it enough times, and the pretentiousness just shatters off. You're like,
Neumann
"Oh, cool."
U87.
Like a little Pokemon egg. The King Bee is evolving. Do 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 do.
Goes terribly wrong. It turns into a blue yeti. What have I done?
Oh, no.
Go back, go back. Yeah, then you have to try and evolve the Blue Yeti. You eventually end up with a bottle, and you're actually pleased with that, but some rough set
Yeah.
of microphones before you get there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once you get to at least the baby bottle, then it's more worth it. But you really got to get to that bottle if you really want to be satisfied.
Oh no, I've hit it too many times. I've turned it into a 1998 Windows headset.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's a newer mic.
No matter what you say into the microphone, it always comes out as, "Hello, welcome to Windows support."
I see you're trying to voice act. Would you like help with that?
I see you're trying to submit an audition. Would you like assistance with that?
Are you sure you want to submit the audition? Yeah. Are you sure? No.
Are you an admin? Do you have administrator privileges? I knew starting
Please
this
take-
podcast was a good idea.
Please take a note in our Windows how to create your show reel. It has all the best emotions like Anime Pro Tag 1, Anime Pro Tag 2, and Anime Pro Tag 3.
Oh, speaking of which, we should totally get anime protagonist on this.
I don't think the dude would come on. Always says he's too busy. He's just always too
wow.
busy. Yeah. He's busy doing something.
Busy being edgy, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's what his status says, so I guess that's actually truth.
Yeah, maybe he just says he's busy because he wants everyone to think, oh wow, this guy's making it. He's really doing stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's why. I think it's a joke, the whole persona thing. But whatever, you can do him.
Is it though? I don't know, man.
I mean, it's very convincing if it is.
Yeah.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt and assuming that the persona's a joke. It might not be.
Yeah.
You have to watch out. Don't cut yourself on all that edge.
Yeah, no, I think if you approach this guy, you would be more than one edge to look out for. My goodness.
Yeah, you might get decapitated without realizing it.
Yeah.
No.
Pretty tragic. Oh, it's so tragic. God, casting director. Yeah, so what do you think? Getting a bunch of private auditionees in. I swear, if you say I'm just going to do it to simp on...
I wasn't going to go
Stop.
there again.
No, stop. Just stop. It's time to stop. All right?
All right. I
think
I wasn't going to mention it.
There's definitely a requirement for casting directors. Like in this climate of like independent budgets and things, having a casting director there is just going to help, because then they can talk through the main producer or the main creator of the project and be like, this is what I look out for. Then they can take that bit of knowledge and they can pass that on. Because there's a bit of a lack of knowledge there, I think, in that department when it comes to acting in general.
Yeah, there's a huge lack of knowledge with especially with voiceover. Oh my, nobody knows what good audio quality sounds like. Apparently, nevertheless, good acting. It's pretty incredible. I mean, obviously, a lot of people who are professionals do, but I'm talking like indie developers and people who are doing short films and other stuff like this.
Yeah, people who aren't well versed in audio quality and making auditions and stuff like that. And I think people they know what good audio sounds like. It's just that they're listening to some person's audio in a vacuum and it's not like from a professionally made TV show or an anime. Because if you delivered like a line through a USB mic and put it into an anime, I bet people would be like, yeah, okay, that really does sound awful, especially since the other characters are, the voice actors or actresses used freaking Neumanns or something like that.
Yeah, and I think that's a trouble as well as a voice actor. If you're new to it and you're going into projects that are like bridges or stuff because you want to do it for fun or you want to do it for exposure, like,
yeah.
If you have a bad mic and other people have good mics, my goodness, is the quality crazy. But if you're the person with the good mic and you listen to your own thing and you're like, I sound good, but the project doesn't.
Yeah.
I nailed that role, but how come there's some person with a blue snowball that's just ruined the entire thing?
Yeah. Why can't I hear someone's mother yelling in the background? What is that about?
That has got me think. That has got me thinking a bit. So with this lockdown, a lot of the like the Funimation voice actors, they're working from home now.
Yes, they are.
How much difficulty do you reckon their audio techs have trying to match the microphones, because they're not recording in a same condition environment anymore with the same mics?
Well, I think what happened was, as far as what I have seen, is that Funimation has sent like an audio engineer out with the equipment needed to set up the home studio for people, I think, and they're all sending them out like the same microphones. So I essentially think that they're basically just buying these people or renting out these people a bunch of mics. That's what it's looked like. I've seen four, I think they were all actresses actually, who got sent out the little Funimation bundle of stuff, and they said, oh look, this is where I'm recording now, and this is the microphone, and they all got sent, basically their setups look very similar and they all got sent the same microphone. So I think what it is that they're just like, okay, any project you're on that hasn't finished yet, well, you can have the studio mic to do your stuff, and then we'll send it to someone else. Any new stuff, you do it on this microphone, and everybody does it, and it sounds close enough to the same. But yeah, their audio engineering department must be just exploding with work right now. I feel sorry for them. And but if you asked people in Dallas if Funimation is looking for new audio engineers, the answer would be yes.
Yes.
grab both of your arms. Are you an engineer?
Do you know basic
Yes?
audacity? Please.
Yeah.
We need anyone. Just anyone.
There are 500 voice actors, all in their homes, and all of them need to have their own audio editor because they don't know how to use the basic software.
Just watch some guy. He didn't know how to treat his room. There's so much reverb.
Oh, dude. But that's the thing. If you've been like a stage actor all your life and you've got into voiceover stuff and you've never come from like doing internet or freelance voiceover, you've always been in a studio. You wouldn't necessarily know. You would not necessarily know. And I expect Funimation must be having some interesting conversations with their voice actors. I'm sure it's not loads, but I'm sure there's some kind of conversation like how do you not know? You can't record your character on your laptop mic, Susan. What are you doing? I'm not. I don't know if there's anyone called Susan. I just made that name up.
I did see a funny Twitter video, like one of the voice actors who was just like recording every 5 seconds, and that's a plane. That's a plane. That's a dog going by.
Speaking, just on cue.
I just heard a
on
dog,
cue,
yeah.
the dog barks.
That is my
just-
dog bark. Yep.
Oh, lovely. That was well
wow.
timed. Good
Well
job,
done.
dog.
And earlier today, I had planes going overhead. That does not happen
relevant
very often.
today.
Actually, you can't even hear them if I close the booth. Just because I'm open boothing today because it's so hot in here for this podcast.
I've got the door shut because you can hear them barking in the background, even though I've got 3 doors between me and them.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think even Mike Del Gaudio, I'm pretty sure he said even when he was downstairs in his basement in his booth, he could still hear the dogs coming through, bleeding through that. And he built his was like, it's like double thick insulation on his as well. So I don't think,
Like-
unless you have one of those like 4 grand like sound isolation units, they come and like deliver to your house on the back of a lorry and you somehow get it in your house. I don't think you can cut those kind of sounds out.
I am envious of those booths. They have like air conditioning. Can you imagine what air conditioning is like in your booth?
Oh. Stop. You have
You're getting
literally no
so
idea.
Torture. Poor
No.
Charles.
Is your booth hot as well? I bet it is.
My
Not
booth
really,
is,
actually.
I'm dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine's-
It's the
mine's
UK.
actually fine.
We're not used to this heat. Like,
I operate at 15 degrees, okay? Anything above or below, I'm fucked.
yeah. That's,
Well.
especially if it's not raining somewhere in the country. I get all.
We had like this one period of, what was it, like 2-3 months of just full sun, heat wave, and I was like, this is the end of times.
It was the end times. Dude, I went out into the back garden. We have a south-facing garden, so you sit there, and you're like, oh, this is nice for about 1 minute 30 seconds, and then you're like, what am I being cooked?
Me and my friends were literally like, right, everyone, get in the fucking car. We're going to go to the ocean. We're just going to swim to France or something because I'm not tolerating this heat.
Yeah, that is so. It's not too bad, I think, the further north you go. But have you been in London in the lockdown and in the heat?
Oh, so you know the Queen does the marching of colours, trooping colour parade.
Yeah.
So imagine that during a 27 degrees heat wave in a full piece suit, standing out in direct sunlight, watching people march for like 2 to 3 hours.
I've done much worse than that. You don't know. You didn't. I went to. You don't understand. I went to Cyprus
Oh God, Cyprus.
and I marched in Cyprus
Marched why?
with best blues on.
I did Florida. Florida was really hot, but also really murky as
Best blues shirt and tie.
well.
March in Cyprus. It was like 36 degrees outside.
Shirt and tie.
Yeah, and these really thick,
Oh.
heavy like their grey spangly trousers. They're pretty hot as well. And luckily, thank God, I had parade shoes on. But yeah, it was hot. It was hot out there. I think actually it eventually got called off because like just everyone was having heat stroke.
Oh yeah. I imagine like after 1 hour, just people start going blob 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 on the ground.
Yeah. I am a huge fan of watching people, especially when you're standing still and they're like angrily wiggling their body, and then suddenly the wiggling stops, and you're like, oh, I guess they're feeling more themselves, and then the swaying starts, and they're like, and you're standing behind me, like, am I gonna have to catch them? Are they gonna go forwards or backwards? And then you see them just suddenly stop. They regain their senses. They start wiggling their toes again. You're like, oh, phew. They look to their left. They're like, look straight back. They're not quite with it. And then this when the time comes, and they just stood perfectly still, and then bop backwards, and you're like, oh shit. You gotta grab them, drag them off, like, oh, this one's dying. Get this one some water. They drop like flies after that. There's always one person. Everyone else resists until one person's gone, and then they're like, it's fine, I'll just pass out.
That's fine.
Yeah. Kind of like one baby cries and then they all start crying.
Sure. Ooh, that works too. Sure.
Yeah.
I just realised we've gone on a massive tangent. That's my thing. I come in and I send this show on tangents. You were doing so well.
I was gonna say earlier.
Were we doing so well?
Were we? Yeah. I mean, sort of better than usual, I guess. But that's not a high bar, is it?
I think we're doing worse than usual, given the number of stream-related interruptions.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, sure. If you factor those in, yes, fine.
But I mean, I'm just. This is a technical achievement for me. The fact that the stream is even functioning, the fact that I am even on the stream, and the fact that you guys can even be heard is just.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied for today, and then I can audio edit this later, and then I can upload it to the podcast site, and then today's episode is over.
I just imagine, like, the moment the stream started and everyone could hear each other. I am a technical god.
Before this started, you have no idea the technical problems I was having. Like, Zero was just listening to me while I was sat on the floor trying to work my laptop, literally swearing for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was listening to that. I'm like, oh, well, I think I did laugh a few times, didn't I?
I heard you laughing at me, and I was like shut up, Zero!
Zero, you've got to learn something about us British people. If we're not swearing every other sentence when we're trying to fix a problem, we're not working hard enough. We're not doing it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, I got that bit. Like, like I knew he was really trying to get this to work. I'm like, oh. It's still just super funny. I'm sorry. I just got it.
It was just the most frustrating thing. It was so frustrating. But yeah, it's set up. I would actually like to have my I think once the rest of my foam comes on Friday. Oh yeah, I'm getting more foam. Did I mention that?
Yeah, you did.
I have an addiction. I have a problem.
I told you, once you start, you can't stop.
Why didn't you warn me about this sooner? You could have prevented all this.
I'm still buying foam now. I've decked out my whole booth, and I don't need any more foam, but I'm still buying more.
Because what a sound leaks outside the booth. I need to put foam on the other side of my doors.
I'm going to start foaming the outside of my house.
And then I need to foam my mic. I can't let any reverb come out of my mic.
I'm gonna spare a piece of foam, and I am putting foam on the mic stand. I'm doing it. It has to be done. It looks so dumb. You know what? There's a bit of foam right there. Let me get it. Hang on.
It's when you've got a few bits of foam left over, and you're like, what else can I foam? You turn, you see the dog.
You see the dog and you foam the dog. You make a foam suit for it so that if it dares to come close to you, it just won't provide any reverb.
All right. We're foaming the mic stand. I've decided. All right, there we go. The mic stand has been foamed.
I heard of actually just I heard because Kellen Joff, the voice actor, he was complaining on Twitch the other day about because he bought one of those expensive booths, but he hooked up like a monitor so he could read his scripts from there.
Yeah,
but he was getting reverb bouncing off of the physical monitor, and I'm like, huh. I guess this is why you want to. Yeah.
I suppose if it's really small, yeah, but like, how much? Yeah, I suppose so. I think that's the lucky thing is that I don't have to be too conscious about reverb with the microphone I have because it's so directional that any reverb that's actually in the room, Mike has none of it. It's just like, what's that? There's something reflecting to this off axis. Yeah, it doesn't care. It doesn't care. As long as there's nothing in front of me and nothing behind me. Oh, that looks like there's something behind me. If I move the pop filter, there is loads of foam behind me. So, as long as none of that stuff's... Dude, this foam looks ridiculous on the camera. It looks so dumb. Anyone who sees this and joins in is like, why has he got a piece of foam? Just there.
It's like I've just that video where the guy was like, I need to stop the reverb. He starts like duct taping foam around his actual head.
Yeah. You know what? That's an even better idea. Let's just this is where there we go.
Foam your sunglasses.
Just they're blind. I have achieved the perfect sound.
This is like how do I even there we go. All right, we're ready. We've nailed it now. But just there.
Oh, but have we? Have
Yeah.
we though?
This is the perfect sound. Does not get any better than this.
Bro.
Oh, Charles.
Bro, this is the perfect sound. This is it. We've nailed
you should
it.
be doing. Do your full Surfer Dude voice if you're gonna do that.
No, we're
You
doing
like
half.
doing it. No. All or nothing. Go big or go home.
Go
I could
big or
try
go
hard.
home. All right. If
Yeah.
we're going big or going home, in that case, let me there. Okay. Oh, hey guys! I've achieved the perfect sound. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
We've nailed it. We nailed it, everyone. Woo!
Good job.
There.
I'm so proud of you, Charles.
Anyone
Very
who
good.
who saw that is like literally about to type WTF into the chat. Why is
On
this?
Charles, like, someone was asking, I'd set up like a little audition thing because someone was like, I want a genuine pirate, and I'm like, I'm Bristolian.
Oh yeah,
This is my calling.
yeah, I saw that. That was on Twitter, and I was like, I think the deadline went and passed. I was like, no.
It was, he wanted it in like one day, but I'm like, do you want as a Bristolian? I could be there like, our mateys, who are Arcady.
Hey, alright, we're going down to the Archimedes. Let's go.
The trick to nailing my accent is putting an extra R on most of your words and not saying any of your T's.
None of your teas.
Mark, pass me the butter.
Now you just sound like you're from where I live. Like
It's where it's all
Somerset
conclu-
over.
Morning, Detective Angel. Still no luck catching those killers, then?
What was that? That was in Somerset.
That is it's partial Somerset. That was some Hot Fuzz, isn't it?
I don't
Or it's
know.
Farmer.
I don't know. You know what the best accent I have heard though? It was in The Witcher 3. Have you heard just the commoners in The Witcher 3? That game. Oh,
Oh, they're amazing.
they're amazing. They just so aggressive. The accents on them are so aggressive. Like that's my dream. My dream is to whenever The Witcher 4 is out, and I wanna have that aggressive British accent in that game. That's my goal.
That thing is shaped like my D&D campaigns. Anytime my players wander off and find a commoner, it's going to be,
Oh, hello, adventurer. How's it going, then? I've got a
What?
quest for you.
Dude, like if you join one of my D&D campaigns, the NPC's like,
Oh, hello there. What's going on?
that was, I didn't voice that for a goblin. It was a side quest where it's like, this goblin, you gotta try to earn his trust, and there's only one thing he wants. He wants to get laid.
Oh.
D&D is just such you plan out your whole campaign as a dungeon master. You're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, we'll do this, and then the players come in and they're like, hey, does that say chaotic evil?
My favorite. Oh, that certainly is a lovely, lovely story you've got going for us there. Would be a shame if we were just to fuck off and become pirates.
Yeah. How many ways can we mess up this campaign?
That literally sounds like me. That literally sounds like me as a player. You know, we messed up so bad, but what were we doing? We're doing like my friend Seth, he knows this. He was in there. We were doing a campaign, and we were down in Yawning Portal. Yawning Portal. That's right. The place underneath that, you know, the 100 levels, whatever. Anyway, you go down there. Point is, it's the Mad Wizard's lair. Now, Mad Wizard, bit of a Chad. He's got this spell going on the place, and if you're a divine entity, if you somehow wind up down there, you can't leave until you defeated that guy. And there are things in the Mad Wizard's lair that make divine entities go mad. Anyway, previous campaign, we just happened to had accumulated a divine favor from an angel. Of course, we were in a bit of a bind, and we decided, why don't we just call them down here? They can smite this person real easy for us. Little did we know. Anyway, we created what turned out to be the boss of the level and doubled them. So we ended up fighting 2 fallen angels at the level, and needless to say, if my crafty filth wizard hadn't been there, we would have lost that battle.
I think one of my favourite stories from when I first got into the campaign, so my friend was DM at the time, he had this side plot about a priest that was stealing the local kids' children, but me and my friends who were playing, we just refused to believe this priest was a bad guy. We could not accept it. We went out of our way at every possible turn to say, no, there must be more to this story. He cannot be the villain. And through a load of shitty die roll, my DM had to completely alter the storyline of the village. It's like, okay, fine, the priest was actually good, and it turns out the whole town is possessed by demons.
Wow.
Did you like nat 20 a couple times on like?
No, it's basically my character. So the villagers were starting to riot, and my character's like, "Oh shit, I'm outside. All the doors are locked." I go hide in the bush. I fail my stealth check. They find me. I run away. I nat 1. I trip on a tree branch. I fall down. They surround me. And the DM's like, "Fuck, I can't have these villagers kill this player's character right now." And they're super adamant that these villagers are possessed, so fuck it, they're possessed now.
So some die rolls that altered reality.
I mean, dude, like die rolls are not the only things that can alter reality. You get a player who comes in who's just a little bit too clever for their own good. They all alter reality for you. Don't you worry.
Like you're a filth wizard.
Well, dude, my filth wizard, like, there's no point even planning a story if you allow my filth wizard in your campaign. It has the spell wish. You don't get to decide what the story is. Okay, you're like, oh yeah, there's a demon in front of you. Is there? I don't think there is. You're just like, all right, everyone, roll your roll for initiative. I'm like, MrCharles, how do you roll a nat 20 every time for initiative? This is fantastic. I go, well, if I'm going first, let me. What spells of wish has been prepared today? Interesting. I wonder what I shall wish for. And oh my, never goes well.
So voiceovers.
D&D's loads of voice actors do D&D stuff. Matt Mercer, for one, he's like the most famous of all. Not that I've seen a single D&D session from him, but there we go.
Plus, helps with your improv skills. If you're a DM, you got to pick up multiple accents.
You have got to pick up multiple accents. That's very true. That is very true. Learning to voice the female characters in your campaign.
Especially
you wander up to the queen and she asks, "Oh, did your adventure go well?" My queen, you're awfully, aroused today.
Don't mind me. I'm just so grateful that you adventurers have helped our city.
The extra breath in there was not necessary, but you added it. You added it anyway.
It wasn't.
Right. Never mind the podcast. We're starting D&D now. We're putting D&D on this channel.
Oh no.
Let's join one of
great.
the other thousands of podcasts and do D&D
Now I need
shows.
a character sheet. Ah, darn.
Who else do we even know who's even do D&D? We can't just have 3 of us. We need three more people at the minimum. D&D anyone in the chat? The D&D anyone in the podcast?
You basically
well.
summed up my last year trying to get a group together for like the thing. Literally everyone I ever met, like it worked, just grab them by the collar. Do you play D&D? And usually if they did, they're like, oh yeah, I play D&D. Join my campaign. No, I'm already in the middle of one. Fuck you.
That's so true. Yeah, but everyone who says they're in the middle of a campaign is more like, oh yeah, well, the last session was like a week and a half ago, and I haven't heard from the DM in a while, but we're in the middle of a campaign. You're like, no, you're not. You're just avoiding me. Stop. I will come for you, and I will force you to be my DM player. Yeah.
DM player. Yeah. And
Shut
you will make a chaotic evil player character.
And they will be good.
You will
Yeah.
fuel my god fantasy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Unsolicited D&D podcast.
Yeah. Sure. 2 podcasts in one day. Very nice.
Yeah, 2 podcasts in one day. Oh, it's got to happen one day, dude. I mean, I think going live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. should be a thing. Maybe we'll try and get it weekly like that. I mean, it works for me. It's a good time.
Yeah, it should work for me.
And anybody who can't work around 1 p.m. Eastern, like, what, you're so busy? You can't work around 1 p.m. Eastern? This is the best time for everyone. What are you doing? Stop.
Unless you're Australian. I'm pretty sure they have weird times.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah.
I think I remember once waking up at 4 a.m. just to get to a dry read in like an Australian server.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, script reading, I could go out of hours and do stuff, but like, if you're not gonna turn up to the script reading, at least try to read your character as you plan to kind of do it. Is there any point even turning up? And I'm just like, what, you want me to start reading a script at 10:30 my time? I'm literally gonna go, this is what you're gonna get out of me. It's my line. Okay, hey, Sharon, you went to Walmart. That's pretty cool, Sharon. Do you want to, like, go on a date with me, Sharon? Sharon, sweet Sharon.
I think that sums up my like 1 a.m. voice recording. I think I did that a couple of days ago. I was like, I can't be able to go to sleep. Someone sent a message, oh, can you voice this? I'm like, yeah, sure. I voiced it. Here you go. Looking back the next morning, I'm like, I did not put any fucking effort into that. In my mind, I thought I did.
That's so true. I think I must admit though, standing up has assisted my voiceover by some amount now. I think it's
Yeah.
I was pretty good before, but it's
I told you it would help.
gains. I mean, it didn't help as much as I expected it to help. It's helped with yelling stuff, but it hasn't helped so much with just like doing conversational things.
I think it helps make
Yeah.
your postures a bit better. You can get a bit more air into your system standing up. Once if you're slouched, you're kind of compressing your stomach a bit.
Yeah, I was, well, it's like I said, I basically had the chair in here, and I was doing that like L pose on the chair, so I was like doing the equivalent of standing up anyway, so I didn't have any problems with posture getting the air out. I worked a way around it, but I was like, yeah, it's just really problematic that I can't close the booth while I have the chair in here, so I'm like, yeah, you know what, chair, you can get out there, and I'll work it myself. Wow. You know, it's almost a mistake you joining the podcast, dude, because now that you're here, you have to do the outro.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that's right. You signed yourself
Poor
up for this.
unfortunate soul.
What was that inflection? What?
What
I
an
know, it was
unfortunate soul.
What are these strange vocal tones coming out of your mouth?
Yeah. Yeah, deal with it. Deal with it. It's the new me. I just go deep super deep at the end of every single sentence.
Well, I feel sorry
I
for.
got an outro. It'd be funny if you guys think you can do it.
All
A good old fashioned Bristolian greeting, which is, "Right, my love, how you doing then?"
I'll do my best, I guess.
Well, I'm ready to hear it, Zero. Come on. Where's your unsolicited voiceover?
No,
psych himself
that's. I thought we were all doing it together.
No, do it one by one.
Yeah, you gotta do it one by one.
One
dude.
by
You're not
one?
escaping this.
One by one. So is it? It's all right, my love. How you doing then?
All right, my
Is that
lover.
Oh, my lover. How you doing then? All right, my lover. How you doing? Keep that in.
I'm sure I will.
I can't even go all that high. All right, my lover, how are you doing then? That was terrible, I'm sure, but wait, do you have to go really high with it?
It's more like you're grumbling your voice a bit. It's like, "All right, my lover, how you doing then?"
All right, my lover, how are you doing then? There we go. Better, I guess.
Exactly. You nailed it. I know what you're talking about. I guess it's my turn then. All right.
You're my lover, how you doing then?
Mum, is that you?
All right. That's where's the clean? Where's clean feed? We're ending this. This needs to end.
We're ending this, ending all of our torture.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop.
Yes.
It is time to stop. Right. Where's clean feed? This really does need to end.
It does.
Let me know when we're good to cut, and I can open my door and breathe real air.